What I've got here now is a red-tailed boa. They are called red-tailed boas because of their red tail. They're a large species of terrestrial boa, meaning that they are not tree-dwelling. They live on the ground. They get roughly 8 to 9 feet long, depending on sex and genetics. They are as of that, they are a large snake. They're relatively well-mannered. As you can see, this one is totally tame, very nice. This is definitely a female. She's been sexed. And how they do that with most snakes is snakes are not sexually dimorphic for the most part. There's the vent right here, and they take a small probe, a thin little piece of metal, and they slowly insert it into the vent. And judging by how many scales up that goes, will determine whether it's a male or a female. You never want to probe a snake on your own. You always want to have an expert do it, as you can injure the snake and cause damage to its sexual organs and other organs as well. So you always want to make sure that you're having somebody who knows what they're doing do that. This is not an average coloration for a red-tailed boa. Usually she would be a much darker brown instead of this more of a salmon color. And the reason that is because she's got a certain percentage of hypo in her, which is a type of color form. It's very much like albino. It's basically the lacking of certain pigmentation. That's why she's not as brown as she would normally be, and it's also why her tail is not as deep of a red as it would normally be. Usually it would be a much darker brownish red than the kind of orange we're almost getting on her down around here. They're typically, if they're captive born, really well mannered snakes. Though they do get big, so always be aware of that. You don't ever want to get into something more than you can handle. And you can also see her flicking her little tongue around, smelling, checking everything out. They're very, very beautiful snakes. One of my personal favorites. They're just wonderful to hold and handle. They just are so well behaved and well mannered, and they're so beautiful.